Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson is presented by Actistatin, Adena Springs, Bloodstock Research, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, EmpireCityBets.com, Equine Eco Green, Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association, Keeneland, Malone's, New York Thoroughbred Breeding and Development Fund, Old Colony Insurance Services, Paul Miller Ford, PBI Bank, Quillen Leather and Tack, Shadwell Farm, Spendthrift Farm, and Windstar Farm.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thoroughbred Week, featuring 10 Grade 1 Breeders' Cup prep races from Belmont Park and Santa Anita, including 3-year-old winners of the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Awesome Again Stakes. We begin with sprinters at Belmont Park in the Vosburg Stakes. Palace going for his third consecutive Grade 1 victory, the 6-5 favorite. John Imbrial has the call.
A battle up front between Happy My Way on the inside and Private Zone on the outside, and Dad's Caps sits just in behind in third. Palace is fourth, 5 lengths from the lead, the half in 44 and 4/5 seconds. The field is in the stretch, and it is Private Zone and Dad's Caps. The two of them are together inside the 8th pole. Then it's Palace and Saludos Amigos. Dad's Caps, Private Zone, they're right together as they come down for the wire in the Vosburg, and Private Zone has won it again, back-to-back years.
Private Zone by Adena Springs stallion Macho Uno repeats as winner of the Vosburg by a neck over Dad's Caps. Martin Pedroza aboard the Keeneland Sales graduate in 1:08.4. Formerly trained by Doug O'Neill, Private Zone was making his first start for Alfredo Velasquez and his second start off a 9-month layoff. The 5-year-old gelding was bred in Ontario by Adena Springs. Private Zone has earned nearly $922,000 for Good Friends Stable. The future 2-time Grade 1 winner was consigned by Adena Springs to the 2010 Keeneland September yearling sale, where he was purchased by former jockey Renee Douglas for $15,000. Vosburg Stakes winner Private Zone, the Keeneland Sales graduate of the week. To Santa Anita for 2-year-old fillies in the Chandelier Stakes. Conquest Eclipse, the 2-1 favorite. Trevor Denman picks up the call.
They bunched as they go past the half mile. Sunday Sonnet the leader. Mannahatta keeps the pressure on. Morning Coffee on the far side. Angelina Renee right there at the rail. They then been followed by Charlotte Ray. Now here's Conquest Eclipse down at the rail. Conquest Eclipse going well, needs somewhere to run. 5 off the leaders. Majestic Presence is on the far side, then Danette. And now Lutine Bell is winding up. Lutine Bell, Maybelline's dropped out last. They're at the top of the lane now, and Sunday Sonnet the leader. Wall Horses coming to tackle. On the outside, Angelina Renee. Conquest Eclipse looks for room. Conquest Eclipse now hooks to the outside. They come for home. Angela Renee is the leader. Conquest Eclipse chasing Gamely Danette, trying to get involved late, but it's Angela Renee. Angela Renee, too good. Angela Renee wins it impressively.
5-2 second choice. Angela Renee takes it by a length and a half over Conquest Eclipse. Rafael Bejarano up in 1:43.2. Second in the Grade 2 Adirondack, and a distant third over a sloppy track in the Grade 1 Spinaway. The Todd Pletcher trainee ships to Santa Anita to record her first stakes victory. The filly by Bernardini was bred in Kentucky by her owner Sienna Farm and is a full sister to multiple Grade 1 winner To Honor and Serve. Angela Renee has earned $300,000. 2-year-old stakes action is presented by BC2A Paste. Reduce the likelihood of tying up with BC2A Paste. 2-year-old colts and geldings at Santa Anita in the front-runner stakes. American Pharaoh, the 1-2 favorite. Once again, here's Trevor Denman.
They run into the far turn, and American Pharaoh now. American Pharaoh still leads them almost a length. Skyway second, Calculator on the far side, then it's Lord Nelson. Behind that, Daddy DT and Sky Preacher. Texas Red is still second last, and Conquest Panthera has 7 lengths to make up. A quarter of a mile to go, and it's still American Pharaoh, the leader. Gets the rein, shake it at him now, and he goes for home. American Pharaoh sticks his neck out gamely. He's still got running him. He's kicking on. It's the great Calculator stretching him, but American Pharaoh is strong on the lead. Calculator's all heart chasing him, but American Pharaoh is all class. Scintillating performance from American Pharaoh in the front runner stakes.
Odds-on favorite American Pharaoh Abaco by Windstar Farm Stallion Pioneer of the Nile defeats Calculator by 3 1/4 lengths. Victor Espinoza, the winning jockey, in 141-4. Back-to-back Grade 1 victories for the Bob Baffert trainee, who defeated Calculator by 4 3/4 lengths in the Del Mar Futurity. The Ridgeline was bred in Kentucky by his owner, Zayat Stables. American Pharaoh has earned $361,000. More racing coming up, but first, here's the upcoming schedule in the Breeders' Cup Win and You're In Challenge Series. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with turf racing featured in this segment. Fillies and mares at Belmont Park in the Flower Bowl Stakes. Stephanie's Kitten, the 6-5 favorite. John Embrial has the call.
Viva Raffaella still in front here. Viva Raffaella by a length and a half. Starstruck, Altarite, they're heads apart, second and third. Abaco and Stephanie's Kitten races a team fourth and fifth as they make the move around the far turn. And the pace begins to quicken now, 3/4 and 1, 14 and 3. But Viva Raffaella is still the leader. Viva Raffaella by a little more than a length. Altarite on the inside of Starstruck. Stephanie's Kitten is right there in fourth. Then it's Abaco on the outside, Tannery. Strathnavers looking for some racing room. What's the chances? Is eighth. There in the stretch here, Viva Raffaella and Stephanie's Kitten. Stephanie's Kitten now to the front. Viva Raffaella, Abaco, Stephanie's Kitten with the lead. Abaco giving chase. Stephanie's Kitten has won the Flower Bowl.
Stephanie's Kitten scores by a length and a quarter over late closing Abaco. John Velasquez aboard in 201 flat. A graded stakes winner each of the first 3 years of her career for Wayne Catalano. Stephanie's Kitten gets her first stakes victory for trainer Chad Brown. She just missed in her last 2 starts, finishing a close second in both the Grade 1 Diana and the Grade 1 Beverly D. The 5-year-old mare by Kitten's Joy was bred in Kentucky by her owners, Kenneth and Sarah Ramsey. Stephanie's Kitten has earned $2,274,000. To Santa Anita for the Rodeo Drive Stakes. Emollient, the 3-1 favorite. Trevor Denman has the call.
Into the turn they go now, and Boonagard is asked to kick for home. On the outside comes Piranda, right there second. Miss Serendipity, Rusty Slipper, Scarlet Strikers on the far side. Queen of the Sand, only 4 off the leaders. Famous Alice, Be Brave. Moulin du Magan making headway, gonna have to go wide, but Moulin du Magan is on the move. Cozy Up Lady, look, oh, Moulin du Magan just slipped on the turn. Moulin du Magan dropped the rider on the turn. They come for home. Here's Emollient now. And Emollient bursts to the front. Piranda tries to battle on from second, but it's Emollient on the outside. Coming back on the inside, Piranda. Emollient gonna win it in a thriller. Emollient has won it ahead.
Emollient holds off Piranda by half a length with a dead heat for show. Rosie Napravnik aboard in 2 minutes and 1/5. 4 of Emollient's 6 wins have come in Grade 1 stakes, including both the Ashland and the Judmont Spinster at Keeneland last season. Trainer Bill Mott outfitted her with blinkers for the Rodeo Drive, and she snaps a 6-race losing streak. The 4-year-old filly by Empire Maker was bred in Kentucky by her owner, Judmont Farms Incorporated. Emollient has banked $1,350,000. American Produce Records is now available online. Visit brisnet.com/APR for unlimited access to the pedigrees of more than 3 million thoroughbreds for just $275 a year, now including SAR stats. Back to Belmont Park for the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic. Big Blue Kitten at 9-5, a slight favorite over Main Sequence. Once again, here's John Embrial.
3/4 and 1, 15 and 2. They continue up the long Belmont backstretch, and Imagining is holding on to the lead here with Real Solution continuing to track in second. Metal Count on the outside, and then Twilight Eclipse now getting a bit closer. Main Sequence is still in fifth, about 4.5 from the front. Then Big Blue Kitten and Hangover Kid, and they're racing around the far turn. Imagining has been in front right from the start. Real Solution has chased the entire way. Main Sequence is beginning to pick it up and is splitting horses and is coming on into third now. Twilight Eclipse down at the rail. Then Metal Count, Big Blue Kitten, and Hangover Kid. And the field is at the top of the stretch. Imagining, Real Solution. Here's Main Sequence on the outside and Twilight Eclipse looking for racing room down towards the rail. Imagining, Twilight Eclipse now coming on through and Main Sequence is there. Big Blue Kitten on the far outside. It's Main Sequence and Twilight Eclipse. Those two down to the wire in a thrilling finish that goes to Main Sequence.
Main Sequence gets up to defeat Twilight Eclipse by a neck. Regime Mirage, who suffered a broken right arm in the Jockey Club Gold Cup one race later, aboard in 2:26-1. A Group Stakes winner and runner-up in the Epsom Derby at 3, and Group Stakes placed in England last season, Main Sequence makes it 3 Grade 1s in 3 starts this year for trainer Graham Motion. The 5-year-old gelding by champion sprinter Aldebaran was bred in Kentucky by his owner, Flaxman Holdings. Main Sequence has banked $1,648,000. The Sprinthrift Farm Stallion of the Week is Cross Traffic, winner of the prestigious Grade 1 Whitney Handicap at Saratoga. An Unbridled Song fastest racehorse ever with 116 buyer speed. New for 2015 on the Share the Upside program. Call today to schedule your inspection. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Awesome Again Stakes coming up in this segment. We begin with fillies and mares at Belmont Park in the Beldame Stakes. Stop Charging Maria, the 3-2 favorite. John Imbrial has the call.
Belle Galantine now by almost 4 lengths over Stop Charging Maria. Endless Chatter down at the rail. And then it's Toasting, who's asked for a bit more and is coming on through. Stanwyck is 5th. Farther back, it's 50 Shades of Hay and Oasis at Midnight. All chasing Belle Galantine, who ran 3/4 in 1:11-1. Belle Galantine by 3 lengths as they come for the quarter pole. Stop Charging Maria, Endless Chatter, and Toasting as they turn for home. Belle Galantine trying to go wire to wire here, and she's in front by 4. Stop Charging Maria in second, then Endless Chatter, Toasting, and Stanwyck. Belle Galantine pouring it on in the stretch. The Beldame belongs to Belle Galantine, a 7-length winner.
Belle Galante rolls home officially by 8 1/4 over Stop Charging Maria. Endless Chatter 3rd for a sweep by Keeneland Sales graduates. Jose Ortiz up in 1:47-2. The second Grade 1 victory in the last 3 starts for the former claimer, who defeated Princess of Silmar in the Delaware Handicap 2 starts back. The Rudy Rodriguez trainee was last seen finishing a distant 6th over a muddy track in the Grade 1 Personal Ensign Stakes. The 5-year-old mare by Aftermarket was bred in Kentucky by Pam and Martin Wygod. She was claimed by Michael Dubb and Partners for $35,000 last December. Belle Galante goes over the $1 million mark in career earnings. To Santa Anita for the Zenyatta Stakes. 2-time champion Beholder of the 2-5 favorite, Trevor Denman picks up the call.
They have a half-mile to go in the Zenyatta, and it's Tis Midnight kicking on for home now as Yahilwa runs up alongside. Beholder is on the far side. Only a length separates those 3. Aya Tapper just waits for room, and now it's 5 back to Wittgenstein. So they start to turn the pressure on in the Zenyatta now. It's Tis Midnight on the inside. Beholder now coming to take them on. Aya Tapper on the inside, and Yahilwa. They're at the top of the lane, and Beholder now takes the advantage. And it's Beholder with the lead as they turn for home. Zahilwood on the outside. 'Tis Midnight. Aya Tapper's had a tough time today, battling on gamely. Past the 8th pole they come, and Beholder still the leader. Beholder in front by just under 2. 'Tis Midnight tries to re-rally. 'Tis Midnight coming to stretch Beholder, but Beholder's class will carry her through. And Beholder and Mike Smith have won the Zenyatta 3 parts of a length to 'Tis Midnight.
Odds-on favorite Beholder takes it by 3/4 over 'Tis Midnight. Mike Smith aboard the Keeneland Sales graduate in 1:42 flat. Winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies at 2 and the Breeders' Cup Distaff last year, the 2-time champion earns a fees-paid berth to defend her title in the Distaff. The Richard Mandela trainee was making her first start off a nearly 4-month layoff. The 4-year-old filly by Henny Hughes was bred in Kentucky by Clarkland Farm and is a half-sister to Spendthrift Farm Stallion Into Mischief. A $180,000 Keeneland September yearling, Beholder has earned $3,368,000 for Spendthrift Farm. Derby Den Farm Stallion Tail of Ikati is Tail of the Cat's leading freshman sire in 2014, with 6 winners to date, including the impressive undefeated 2-year-old filly, Ikati's Phaeton. Next from Santa Anita, the Awesome Again Stakes. Undefeated champion Shared Belief, the 1-5 favorite. Once again, here's Trevor Denman.
And away they go. Along the inside, Fedbiz and Sky Kingdom came out well. Shared Belief right up alongside of them. Mystery Train in the red colour's going to have to go 4 wide as Footbridge settles into 5th. They followed by Majestic Harbour second last, and Imperative quite content to drop in at the back, gives them 8-length start. They head past the 7/8 and Fedbiz hugs the rail. Meanwhile, Sky Kingdom has floated Shared Belief wide into the turn. So while Fedbiz hugs the rail, it is Sky Kingdom carrying Shared Belief wide on the turn. There's Mystery Train in the red colours now going up second. 4 of them in a line means Shared Belief 4 wide into the first turn. Then back to Footbridge. Imperative now moving closer as only 4.5 off the leaders. Majestic Harbour at the back of a fairly compact field. They go to the half-mile pole. The long shot Mystery Train now ensures they keep up a good pace. Fedbiz right there second. Then comes Sky Kingdom. Imperative sent along on the inside. Shared Belief on the far sides. Had to go the farthest of all. Shared Belief now 5 wide as they go into the turn. Then Footbridge and Majestic Harbour. 3/8 of a mile to go, and Fedbiz had the rail trip throughout. Mystery Train under pressure. On the far side, Imperative. Shared Belief in 4th, Footbridge on the inside. Shared Belief now hooking to the outside in the black cap. And Shared Belief, can he give away the ground and still beat them? They come for home, and here's Shared Belief on the outside. Fedbiz trying to keep him at bay. Fedbiz and Shared Belief. Footbridge joins the fray down at the rail, a desperate finish. Shared Belief on the outside, Fedbiz. Shared Belief going to just keep his unbeaten record. Yes, he has. Shared Belief, 7 for 7.
Shared Belief overcomes an eventful trip to defeat Fedbiz by a neck. Mike Smith, who was unseated when his mount slipped on the turf in the Rodeo Drive, gets his second Grade 1 victory on the card. Time of the race, 1:48.2. Despite being floated out around the first turn and losing ground while fanned 5 wide turning for home, Shared Belief makes it 7 wins in 7 starts. The Jerry Hollendorfer trainee gets a Grade 1 victory over the host track for the Breeders' Cup Classic, along with a fees-paid spot in the starting gate. The 3-year-old gelding by Candy Ride was bred in Kentucky by Pam and Martin Wygod and was purchased privately by Jungle Racing and Partners after an impressive debut at Golden Gate nearly a year ago. Shared Belief has earned $1,552,000. Shared Belief paid $240 to win and is the Malone's Favorite of the Week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. Coming up, another top 3-year-old preps for the Breeders' Cup. Time now for the feature race of the week, presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. To Belmont Park for the 96th running of the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Toneless, the 3-1 favorite. Here's the call by John Embrial.
The opening quarter mile, 23 and 3/5 seconds, and Big Casanova has come away with the lead here. It's Big Casanova, 3/4 of a length over Moreno. Down at the rail is Long River. Wicked Strong is in between horses. Speak Logistics is on the outside in 5th. The half went in 47.2. A break of 3 to Micromanage running in 6th. Last Gunfighter is 7th. Zevo to his inside in 8th. Then it's the trio of Tonalist, Stefanozzi, and V.E. Day. Oh, and unseating the rider there on the turn was Wicked Strong. Wicked Strong unseated jockey Rajiv Mirage. So there's a loose horse in the middle of the pack as they go around the far turn. Big Casanova is the leader. Long River. And on the inside, Moreno. They're together second and third. Perhaps a dicey situation here with that loose horse. Farther back is Big Zevo. V.E. Day is making a run along with Tonalist and Stefanozzi. They're coming for the quarter pole. And 3 of them across the track. Long River, Moreno, Big Casanova now dropping back. Here comes Zevo. V.E. Day on the outside. Tonalist looking to come on through. They're coming down for the 8th pole, and it is Long River. And Tonalist now moves to the outside and has some run. Long River and Tonalist and Zevo with a 16th to the wire. And it's going to be Tonalist returning to the scene of his Belmont Stakes victory to capture the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
The stage is set for an East versus West showdown in the Breeders' Cup Classic as Tonalist defeats Zevo by a length and 3/4. Joel Rosario, the winning jockey in 2:02 flat, a 105 brisk speed rating. Tonalist is now 3 for 3 over the track, including his Belmont Stakes victory in June. Following a runner-up effort in the Grade 2 Jim Dandy and a third-place finish in the Grade 1 Travers Stakes, trainer Christophe Clement removed blinkers for the Gold Cup to get his Classic winner back on track. The colt by leading sire Tappet was bred in Kentucky by Woods Lane Farm. Tonalist has earned $1.8 million for Robert S. Evans. Joel Rosario with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Fans, the safest way to the winner's circle. We'll have Grade 1 stakes action from Keeneland next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week has been presented by Actistatin, Adena Springs, Bloodstock Research, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, EmpireCityBets.com, Equine Eco Green, Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association, Keeneland, Malone's, New York Thoroughbred Breeding and Development Fund, Old Colony Insurance Services, Paul Miller Ford, PBI Bank, Quillen Leather and Tack, Shadwell Farm, Spendthrift Farm, and Windstar Farm. Online at tbreadweek.com.